am Carol, the owner and creator behind CarolJo's. CarolJo's is where creativity and community come together for both the jewelry and accessory world. We do all kinds of fun things here. We will do tutorials, we do chat times, we do makers meetups, and we do live events where you can claim items to add to your bead collection. Well, today is a tutorial day. And I did not make an example for this one. And I am going to bring up my backup account. Hi, Zuli. So that I can see comments when I go down for the tutorial part, okay? All right, here we go. I got in. Whew. I'm going to put that over here. All right. My hair is not in the bobby pin. Sorry, my stylist did my hair. I did not today. All right, so hello, Geraldine. The title of today's tutorial is called Perfectly Imperfect. And the reason why I did not make an example of it is because today I wanted to do it so you guys could like hear me in all of the glory or struggle. If you know me, you know everything has to be symmetrical. To do things not asymmetrical, not a pattern, is extremely, extremely hard. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to go out my comfort zone. I'm going to use these three colors, and I just poured them in the bowl. I put them, the strands in there, mixed it up, poured it in there, and then we're just going to mix it up. And the only rule that I'm going to have is I cannot have the same color of bead 3 times in a row. That's the only rule. So like if I get 3 in a row, okay, the 4th one cannot have a 4th one. The most you can have in a row is 3. That's my only rule. So this is going to be a little bit difficult. There you are, Geraldine. Okay. And so I want to show you how it is for a struggle for somebody who is someone that has everything has to be like in the same order. And the reason why I want to do it is I want you to see we can go outside our comfort zones. We can try something new and it's going to work. I might not sound positive. I do have positivity, but I might not sound it. It's going to work. I just got to keep telling myself it's going to work. It is Friday. All right, Nordic Luna, thanks for the reminder. If you guys can post like to your story, the live here on TikTok, or if you can repost it, that would be awesome. Also, if you know somebody who isn't in here that would like this type of activity, what we're doing, content, whatever you want to call it, invite them in. Once we're already over our 10 shares, so we're good there. Once we get to 10,000 likes, then we will start doing giveaways, all right? It is still in Iowa? Are you kidding me? Thank you, Zuli. Someone else had theirs stuck in a certain town for a little bit, but we figured it out today why. It had a substance spilt on it. And then those get sat for a little bit before they get delivered. It's just part of their rules. So I can see there, Geraldine, what's going on. All right. So for today's tutorial, the items that you're going to need is that we are going to use 3 different colors of 8mm glass pearls. You can use whatever bead you want, but I saw these 3 together and I said, I'm going to make something with it. We've got antique white, unknown color name yet because I haven't gotten it done yet. And this one is an unknown color name because I still haven't gotten it done yet. So that is what we got for the beads. I have in here, thank you, these are 2mm sterling silver bead crimp tubes. I use sterling silver for mine because it will hold the wire when you harden it, when you shape it, it hardens. If you use the other metals, they might not harden as much, okay? Then I have my bag These are lobster claw clasps. Yes, I put them in the bag. There are some things I leave like this. And here I have, yes, this is my bag of split rings, everybody. I do buy them in bulk. I just keep them in their bag. That's how I have them. Oh boy. And then for tools, we have the bead stopper. I love my bead stoppers. We have the split ring tool because we're going to need that for that. I'm missing one tool. Oh, I'm going to get it. I do need the split ring tool for that split ring to add my closure to it. And I need, unless Buttercup took it again, she has a habit of taking this tool out of my tools. And then when I need it, I have to track it down. But nope, it's at the bottom. Got it. This is the crimp pliers. We're going to need those. We're going to need a flush cutter, this bead stopper, and then we have the flat nose or chain nose pliers. Those you may or may not need. Those are optional. Okay. Other supply that we need, we're going to need our bead wire. I use a 19 or 21 strand wire. I do not know what the diameter of it is. For me, it was more important to have the 19 or 21. You can get it in 7 and 49. The 19 or 21 is just in the middle. For this project, in the middle is just fine. We don't have extremely heavy beads. Yes, they are out there. Yes, Nordic Luna, you're correct. They are in the studio. All right. Now, I'm going to point you all down. I do use the fishing line, or I call it, because it's the name brand, the hold on. Someone's asking me. I don't use it to make necklaces. Fire line. Yes, I do use that. But I use it for a certain one project only. I'll show you what it is. It is this project. These are hex nuts from the hardware store. Do you see the hex nut there? And I use the fire line to create that nut bracelet. So yes. So I do use it. And thank you, Bobby, for the follow. And we will have some of that when I find it in one of the pallets, just to let y'all know. I just don't know which box it's in. Sorry. But yeah, so that's what we're going to use for today's tools and supplies. Now I'm going to point you all down. Okay. All right, everybody. You see my bead mat? We are going to take and get some of the wire off. If I'm making an 18-inch necklace, I go with about 22 inches of the wire. If, I just add 4 inches onto the size of my wire. So there is 18. I need 4 more. There's a good spot. I'm just going to cut it. So, Bobby, I was going to say, we do lots of fun things here. We will do tutorials like we're doing today. We have chat times where if you have questions, you can ask away. We do makers meetup so we can share what we're working on. You can come live with me and show me what you're working on and everybody else, or we can talk about it in the chat. I'm going to grab 3. Here's my container of beads. I'm going to set it there. We're grabbing out of there 3 beads. I'm not even looking at it. So there's our 3 beads. So we're going to do it just like it landed. And we're going to see what we get. No pattern to it. But we can't have more than 3 colors, the same color 3 times. Okay. I want a green. This went this way. No, it went this way. I'm going to grab different ones because I don't remember how it came out. There's 3. Okay, we ended up with green on that one. Green and then the antique white. 3 again. Okay. We've got lots of 2s in a row, but not any. And we have a pattern going on accident. 3. I close my eyes every time. This is fun, you guys. Ooh. Now we're going to dig in again for 3 more. We got 3 in a row, so I'm going to take him. I mean, I could do 3 in a row, but I'm not going to today. Or this time, I'm going to do these since I accidentally grabbed 4. If you guys could see my face as I'm grabbing these, I close my, yep, it's a mystery. I close my eyes and I grab 3 beads. Okay, we're going to go this way. I need more green on there, I'm thinking. Let's mix it up, see if we can get some more green. I want green. That's the only thing, you guys. I know I said I wasn't going to do that, but we don't have very much green. I got more than I need. We're putting you away. We'll go take these 3. There. Yeah, I'm glad we got the green. That one's going back. Okay. Hey, we got 1 of each this time. That's the first time that's happened. Ooh. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Very boho-ish. The colors give it some boho look to it. Okay, here we go. I'm digging down in there. I got 3. Okay. We're trying something different because this is not me. Okay, we got 1 of each color again. Okay, these 2 are first. Now we're getting into a section where there's a lot of green. Oy. All right, let's see where we're at. We are about halfway done with the necklace, and this is what we have so far. I'm even thinking for a bracelet. That is cool. Woo. Okay. Let's dig down in here. There's 3. I can't have all of those. I'm going to put them back because I would have 4 in a row of the same color. So we're going to try for a different 3. Okay, we're going to go with these. Okay, here we go again for 3. We got all 3 again. Go down in here. I got those 2 are stuck together. If they're ever stuck together, sometimes you can take the pliers and go get them apart. Sometimes they don't work. Hi there, Lori. Yep, this one didn't work because what happens is that you'll get that white side instead where the color did not get in it. I need 1 more. There we go. Well, we got all 3 colors again. You use the cutters? Okay, I'll try that next time. There we go, 3. There we are. Has anybody ever tried this to make a necklace like this? Nope, that's 4 the same in a row. So we'll put those back. We'll grab 3 new ones. There we go. I can honestly say I have never done it before. Let me see where we're at. We are at 13 and a half. Okay, I'm going to put this one here and then these two. Okay. All three again. It's chaos. All three again, but at a different order. I feel like I have four. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put that one back. Okay. I have no idea what color I put back because my eyes were closed. All right, let's see where we're at right now. We are at just under 17. Scoot down to, I feel the bottom. We'll do those three. All right. We are 18 inches. This is what it looks like. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to do it this way so you guys can see all the colors. I think I'm just looking at it to be like, okay, is there anything I want to change? I know we are saying that we're not supposed to do the changes, but I think I like it just the way it is. I think I'm just going to keep it. So before I finish this off, I want to tell you how I ended up selecting these beads. I wanted to have all the same size beads and the same shape. I didn't want to create one with like a bicone and a rondelle and a round or a faceted round, you know, type scenario. Because if I wanted to do that, I really have to pick a pattern when my shapes are not the same. If my size of the beads were not all the same, it would cause more of an issue for me. So to make this easier for me, because I am symmetrical, I made the decision that it would probably be easier for me to do this style of a necklace if they were all the same shape and the same size. That's cool, Lori. And so that is what I'm going to say is that if you're someone that is extremely like I am in that regards, go ahead and just do it with all the same size, same shape. All right. Now we're going to find, where did I put them? Here they are. These are not stainless steel. They are, why is it? Sterling silver. Sterling silver 2mm crimp tubes. They're really small. Crimp beads are even smaller. I use the tube because I feel like the tube just gives it a little bit more of a length to have that hardening go on. We talk about the hardening of when we do this. When you have metals, metals will harden at different rates depending on the metal. Sterling silver is one that when you harden it, it becomes very, very hard. And like if you did one with brass, brass does not go as hard. When you listen to me describe what an item is in a live event, I will tell you like it is silver plated iron, silver plated brass. So if we've got a plated one, the base metal is usually going to be either iron or brass. It can be a different one. Sometimes you'll see zinc in there, but most of the time that's what they are. And so what I want to say is that the hardening of a brass, it doesn't harden as well as sterling silver. And so you want this piece to harden so that the wires do not slip with your closure. So that is why I suggest that this is the one area that you splurge on when you're creating jewelry. If you're one that are, keeping the value in mind. I just had a 6mm split ring just roll across the floor. So yep, I closed my eyes, Lori, so I wouldn't get a pattern. All right, so next I have two 6mm split rings and one lobster claw clasp. You can use whatever size you want for this. That's just my go-to. And then you can open and close it just to make sure that it will spring correctly. I am going to grab my split ring pliers here. I will open up at one end, and this is where having this tool helps your fingernails, but every size of split ring has its sweet spot of where you can open it up at to open it enough that you can get your closure onto your split ring enough and then spin it around. If you don't get it on there far enough, it'll just bounce off of there. And if you go down too far with your split ring plier, it won't open enough at the end to get it on. So you got to find the sweet spot, and each size of the split rings, you got to find the size for that one. All right, now I'm taking one of my crimp tubes. You can't see it. It's in between my fingers here. There you can. We're going to put it on our wire, go down a little bit, grab 1/2 of your closure. I'm going to grab the split ring side and the lobster claw clasp. Using the split ring, you just put that on. You're going to take this end, go over the top of your closure and back through the opposite way on your wire. So my end of my wire is right there. Pull that down close to where your split ring is at. You want to have your split ring dangle. If you go this way too far, you will make this really stiff, and that will end up cutting the wire, and we don't want that. We also don't want to go all the way down here and create this big gap here. So you got to find that spot that you can still dangle but don't have a lot of space. There's a question over on TikTok if I ever use wire guards. I do not. Others do. They are out on the studio because some people want them. I just don't use them. It's a preference to use them or not. You're going to take your crimp pliers. I'm going to set this down for a moment. Your crimp pliers, you will have two ovals. This is oval 1. This is oval 2. Let me show you over here. Oval 1, oval 2. Oval 1 is the one you want to use first. What it will do when you crimp your crimp tube is it will create a U shape for your crimp tube. So that's what we're going to do first here. I'm going to make sure after I set it down, did it move? Nope. Just go in, put this in on that second oval, and these are 2mm wide. So if I got it in the right spot, I should not see my crimp tube on either side of my plier. And that's where I am at. So now I am going to just press it down. And I have the U. This might be a little bit out of focus because of the direction of it. So you got the U. You're going to point the opening of that U away from you. So you know how it's got the U shape? That divot down, it's going to point away from you. We're going to go into the first oval, line that up. Oops, I got to go the right way. There we go. So it's all lined up in there, and I'm just going to press down, and that brings the two sides together, and we just have a very small crimp tube now. Check out and make sure that this is secure. I take my fingers and my thumb and then hold them this way. I pinch it, and I use my thumbnail to push down. And the reason why I have this pinched here is that if it moves, I can move with it and I'm not going to lose these beads off that way. That works. So now what we do, we have this little tail. We're going to hide him in the beads. We are going to push the beads down and hide that little tail. There we go. All right, we got it hidden in there. Now we're going to come to this end. We are going to push this down. You notice I have this up here. I will lift this up a little bit and get all that extra space out of there. Take off my bead stopper. Grab my crimp tube. I'm going to go down here. Whoops. I got to put it on the wire, not just like think it's there and it's not. There we go. And bring that all the way down to that bead. Grab my closure, let that fall down, go over the top of that 6mm split ring and go back through my crimp tube and then go back through, at least if you can get through 1 bead, 2 beads, 3 beads would be great. And my wire does not want to, there we go. He did not want to move where I wanted him to move. This is the hardest part of the entire thing. There we go. But look at what happened. I got space there. So, push this down. Hold your thumb on your crimp tube. Grab this piece of wire here and pull it. If there isn't enough to pull on, grab your pliers and use your pliers to help you pull. Either way works. Then we're going to take and make sure that we're getting down there. And you just have to, the word I'm going to use is fiddle. You're going to have to fiddle with it a little bit to get it so all the space is out that you need to have. Sorry. There we go. I'm going to test this still moves, but he's a little bit tight. So I'm going to give myself a little bit. There we go. I'm going to hold this from this end. I am going to pull this down. Yep, I've got all of that out. So now I need my crimp pliers again. We're going to go in oval number 1, create my U. Got it. Turn it away from me, go into oval number 1, or number 2. And nope, I got it. I thought it turned on me, but it didn't. I'm checking. Yep, we got her. Now, to cut off this extra piece of wire, I usually try to open up the space in between the beads and get that wire that I want to have cut off. Do you see how he's all on his own there? Now I can take my flush cutters and just go in and cut him off. He's not around my other wire, so I don't accidentally cut my other wire. And there we go. And now we have our necklace. I'm going to come up, everybody. All right. I have necklaces from last week still on here. We're going to put it on the necklace, the neck, and there it is. That is really cool against a black, like a black shirt. Oh, that would be cool. So that's why I called this one Perfectly Imperfect, because there is no pattern, but it's still perfect. And I love it. And literally, this is, I'm going to show you guys what I did to do these since you didn't see my face. I did this every time, and then I looked down. I turned my head and closed my eyes. These are yours. Well, guess what, Cece? If you weren't in beat jail that you've told us about, we have these 3 colors tonight. I have a question for you guys, though, about tonight's live. Because I thought about this, I thought about one thing, and then I thought about it some more. For those of you that are part of the large community that Zuli also does things for, tonight is the BD stash night. And so I have a question. Because I am personally, you guys knew this was a hectic week for me. I did not cut anything out of my normal schedule. The one thing I have not prepped for at all is the Halloween items. I have them pulled, but I have no prep done for them. I know. And so therefore, I already knew going into today that I was going to probably move the Halloween out to Saturdays and not do a live tomorrow. It will, because there's also another reason why I even got further behind, which I'll explain in a moment too. And so the first Saturday in August is when I am going to do the Halloween. And then I thought about it more, going, is everybody going to the D-Stash tonight? Would it work better to do the one that I would normally do on a Friday night if I do it at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning? You guys let me know. So the one for today, do you want it tonight or tomorrow morning if you are going to go to it? Because I'm okay with either one, but I don't want you guys to have conflicts. I got to find two. Ooh, I have them right here. So I just was like, I think that would work. And it takes away the, that type of thing. I got tonight at 7. Okay. It's Cece, I love it. I love it. So, and the reason why I'm even further is that you guys know that I have used, this phone is almost dead. There we go. We'll get it on for her. That I haven't been happy with ChatGPT. And I figured out as I was working on some things, because this took me a while this morning to figure out. So I spent the time that I should have been prepping for tonight figuring out this rabbit hole because it was driving me nuts. I've had 3 different buggies taken care of from things from the studio that I haven't put out there yet. You remember how I said I had 20 some, but I'm down to around 20 now of those containers to get ready for the studio? And there are items in there that everyone is able to do. And I'm like, I didn't turn those on yet because they're sitting over here. And I figured it out. At some point, ChatGPT changed one of my fields in my spreadsheet to turn it on automatically. So I need to get those done because it's causing confusion on my part, because when I go in there, I go and set the inventories correctly, and it's saying I have these items when on a live, they're empty, which doesn't give a good customer experience. So that's why I was dedicating time to that this morning, is to figure that out. And another reason why I don't like it. And so I need to fix so that all these are done ASAP, because those 3 have been all in this week. And I've never had that happen before, and I couldn't figure it out why, and it's because of ChatGPT. I'm like, I didn't think I would have to, because this is what, if you guys deal with spreadsheets at all, I put in there false, because that's what I need, to not turn it on. Somehow or another, when I put it in as false, it is changing it to true and it is turning it on. And I would have never checked that field because I don't have in my parameters of what it's supposed to look at, that field. So I don't know why it has done that. And these are items for the last month that it has done it. So I'm going to ask, and this is why I was bringing it up, if we can move to tomorrow too, is so that I can get everything prepared and I can get these corrected, and I can work on that today and focus on that and not feel so rushed on anything. And it's all because of ChatGPT. Yep. And so, yep. And so Claude is awesome about this. And so I am actually going to use Claude to correct this. I literally can just go in. Okay, Jelva, let me explain something that I changed. I'm trying to think. No, I did not change yours. Yours was before. We changed how we do it. Let me get you to the new way and explain the newest way. I can send it in the old way too, if you'd like. ChatGPT doesn't do very well. You have two. Well, let me go and double check something for it, okay? I'll check it. I'll send you an email after the live, but let me write this down. And Nordic Luna, I forgot to message you about your numbers. I do not have any right now. Glad I could answer that one. It doesn't mean I might not have some. I just don't have them right now. I seriously don't know everything in that 68 boxes. We have 67 to go. See, and I don't turn those on because the reason why I don't turn that on, Lori, is that if I turn it on before I do the live, it allows everybody to put it into theirs, and I don't know it, and I can oversell. Yay, you needed it. So ChatGPT, I'm having problems with it taking instructions and doing it correctly. I have not found that I've had that issue with Claude. So, and even right now, it was funny. I just got done teaching how to do this style of a necklace. Sorry, someone's over here asking me. And so that was what we did. And now we're talking about AI in our businesses. So Jelva, that was the issue. I was finding that ChatGPT was wrong about 50% of the time. Whereas when I've now started using Claude is like way less. I mean, we're talking less than 5%. I pressed it. Hold on. I was getting a phone call. I'm stuck because I was getting a call. I know, Michelle. So, sorry. One of the kids was calling me. I'll call them back after we get done with the live. And so I will say I trust Claude a lot better, and I wish I would have known about it when I started using this all. It is a lot. It can do more complex things. A lot more. So what we did here, I'm going to tell them over here really quick. We grabbed 3 beads at a time, and we could not have 3 in a row, or more than 3 in a row is what the rule was. And I only went away from that once, and that was because when we were over on this side, we were getting down here, and I only had a few green, and I mostly had the antique white. And so I was like, I put some antique whites in the purple back to get more green. And so we got some green in there. Yep. And so I'm going to switch it. I'm going to vote. We're going to have the debut tomorrow at 10 a.m., moving it from today. I will put a a video out there on TikTok letting you guys know that we are going to do that change. So you can, these 3 colors of the glass pearls are going to be up for claiming tomorrow on TikTok at 10 a.m. You guys, this is my like non-traditional, I do not do this type of work. And I was thinking, you know what we should do for earrings on it? Oh, let's do it. We have some time. We're going to do the earrings. I'm not going to point you guys down for the earrings. This is what we're going to do. Oh, cool. Thank you. We go live on the tube 4 times a week, twice with chats and twice with tutorials. I do the live claims on TikTok and another app that, well, since I'm live on TikTok, I can't say. They don't like it when we say it. But if you go to my Sunday night short, we have the schedule of where I'm live at each week, where all the times and what we're doing. There you go. So this is what I was thinking for our earrings to go with this is, yes, the earrings are going to be the same because I am. No, I'm going to move it to tomorrow at 10, Paige, just to give myself not so much stress. This has been a week. I did not take away any shows at all this week, but with having band camp and volleyball camp, it caught up to me today, especially once I figured out what in the world was going on this week, why people were being able to add to their buggies items that I haven't even put out there yet. And it came back to ChatGPT. Thank you, Ashley. So what I was thinking I'd do is, I got 3. Okay, this is the way they came out. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to move them like this, just so that as an earring, it doesn't seem so weird. So I'm going to do that same thing and for a second earring to go with this necklace. Let me just grab the head pins. I'm going to make those off camera, everybody. Sorry. But I was like, let's make some earrings to go with it. I got to find 2 head pins in here. I have all these stainless steel ones. Nope. That's an eye pin. Jeez. I keep finding... Well, there's 2. Are you the same size? Yep, those 2 are the same size. Okay, let's see if these are long enough. Holy Lord. We all do that, Cece. I'll bring it up a little bit. All I'm doing right now, okay, I'll bring you down here. I just can't see comments, okay? There you go. All right, I got to make sure this head pin is going to be long enough. There we go. Yep. So there it is. That's our earring. These are stainless steel. So that means it's going to be hard to cut. Okay. I got to put my line on here. You're welcome. I wasn't planning on making earrings, but I'm like, I'll put you guys down too. These ones, I love these colors. Okay, everybody wanted to see, so all of you are down. Okay, I put my line here on my round nose pliers. I put it right to the top of my beads, 90 degrees away. Reposition the tool in there 45 degrees within that 90. Bring this around. Reposition the tool so you can make a complete loop. These are not going to be able to be... There we go. I'm not going to be able to, because of how short they are, wrap that around. So I'm just going to cut that off. I usually wrap it around. Earrings, you don't have to. But let's get that cut off. There is one dangle for one earring. I'm going to do that a second time here. You guys are cracking me up. There. So I did 90 degrees away from me, if you see that. I'm going to swivel this so that this is 45 degrees within that 90. I bring this over the top. You'll get to a point back here where you see that you're going to hit the beads. Loosen up your grip on the pliers and move the bottom side to the top, and then finish out that circle. So then you've got that perfect circle there. If you don't move it to that 45 degrees, you don't end up with an O, you end up with a D. So that is how we made the earring dangle. Let me grab the earring wires. Okay. Earring wire holes has a slit on one side. It can be the outside or the inside. I just know with these earrings, they are on the inside. So I'm going to open it up from the inside, and you slip on your earring dangle by that loop, and then you have your earring. We're going to do it to the other one. And close it up. So you're just going to open it. You open it away from you. You don't do this. That distorts. If you go this way, you distort your circle. So always just go towards and back for yourself. I'm going to bring you guys up. All right. Woo. And then here is the earring. I'm going to get my earring. You're going to laugh. When we did my wire wrap on the Makers Meetup, I got those on here. And then we have our bookmarks are still on here. So I got all kinds of fun things on here. Ta-da! They really would be up here. You're on there. But there's the earrings to go with the necklace. Oh yeah, I've done that for years, Jelva. This, what it does is when you put, because she's talking about the tip with the line, putting that line on there gives you a spot to stop at and line both of them up with your, so that your loops are always consistent. There is no rhyme or reason for where I put my line. Down here towards the tip is the smaller your circle for that loop will be. Up here, it'll be larger, of course. But I don't like to have it really towards my tip, because you don't have as much control of it coming and slipping out. So that's why you will see I usually go right about there, and I always line it up with the top one here. So, because you can see they're not always straight with each other, but use the top or the bottom for your line if they're not straight all the time. Just use one of them, but you just use a Sharpie. It comes off, so don't think you're ruining your tools or anything. It will wear off because you're getting that metal on metal, and it'll rub your Sharpie off. But it's a way that you can have consistent loops on all of your designs. So if you're making a lot of earrings, you know, they're all going to be the same if we put that line. So when it starts to wear off, I just grab it. I actually have a ton of the ultra fine point Sharpies because I write with them on the thermal printer labels, and Sharpie works on those. Pens smear. So this is more like a pen, like writing with a pen. If you do like the fine, your line is going to be a little bit thicker. So depending on what size Sharpie you have, I don't recommend using the normal size Sharpie on there, because your line is going to be really, really thick and you won't know where you really need to line up to. You have a good guesstimate area, but for me, I would say the ultra fine or the fine, not the regular when you're doing that. And I just have it sitting on my bead table. I have always had it sitting on my bead table. I have a couple of places where I hold my tools, and it's normally there. But now when I started going live, I have a different container for other things for live, so I put it in there. But it's always on my bead table. I always have a Sharpie just to do my line. Literally. It's one of those things that nobody thinks of. Like, literally, we were at the bead store that I used to work at. They started doing it, and everybody around us now does it. You don't get, like, you would think because the Sharpie's wearing off, you'll get Sharpie marks on your fingers or not. Nope, you get the Sharpie marks from when you're putting it on there and you missed the tool and you Sharpied yourself. I do that. So, all right, everybody. I had fun. Now, I said I did not. Oh, that really, I hope that helps you out a ton, because yes, that is one thing that it's something so simple can make this so easier. I know we can use like the bail making pliers to get consistent ones, but for the earrings, that's a little bit too big, because that one's a 2mm size here. This is too big of a hole for me for earrings. I want something more dainty. So that doesn't work. So I'm glad I could share something with you. Yay. That's a win for today. So what I was going to say is that I totally lost my train of thought, but I'm excited. Oh, I know what it was. It's back. We were just talking about how you lose things, and Buttercup tells you go back to the room you had the thought in, and I'm like, I'm in the room. What it was is that I started off this live kind of a little bit like, because this is not, I will say once again, this is not my norm. I am a pattern follower up this way. It was. And so I was I knew I was like positive about this, but you could hear it in my voice. I wasn't as positive about it as I normally am. See, and I think people who hate patterns and can just do this type of thing, to me, you're just like, I'm in awe of you, because that's not me. And my sister is even more so when she makes jewelry like, she will repeat it all the way up. She can't do different things all the way up, but I can start in the center and it can be different. But this bead here has to be the same here. This one here, but not the same pattern all the way up. She's got to be same pattern. Yeah. Well, the thing is that for me, my organization is really, it was just put the same color beads together that are the same product. And that helps me out so much. My sister, she actually works better in the chaos box. That's what I call it. You just give her a box with all these beads in it, and she starts picking out, and she can start seeing things, and she goes. You guys know me, I have to start pulling trays. She pulls a box. Like, you can have 20 things in that box, and she can make a ton of stuff out of it, and just pulling it out and creating. I can't do that, but she has to have patterns. We all are different. And so to be able to do something like this, now you guys see, I have a happy smiley face because it turned out. I knew it would, but it's really cooler than I thought. So I am excited. So I hope we all found some positivity today, because we all need positivity. We talk about that a lot this last couple of weeks. So yay. All right. I am going to hop off. I am going to continue getting ready for the live that we are moving from tonight to tomorrow. Halloween will move 2 weeks out. Thank you guys for letting me do that. It was just getting to be like here right now. I just looked at my family when they wanted to do stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So if you're positive, that's all that matters. I really do believe if you just come in with a positive attitude, it really helps. So everybody, have a fun. If you are going to go to Zuli's D-Stash tonight, have a ball over there. Come back tomorrow, 10 a.m. I can tell you some of the things. We will have these 3 colors of the glass pearls in both strands and bags. We are going to have the bracelet that we made yesterday. So the wire and the bracelet chain, we'll have those tomorrow. We have some pendants that have the cubic zirconia or rhinestones in them. They're cute. Some of them are elephants and some of them are butterflies. We have the Bodhi beads. We're going to have some of those. Thank you for the heart me. We are going to have, what else are we going to have? We have a really cool porcelain bead. We have a few glass beads. We have some naturals. And I'm going to grab some stuff from the Hagar estate also. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate that. I have not yet. I got to do that. I have been pulled in about 20 directions today. And it's like, oh. So just by doing what we're doing for the change, it really will help me be able to be at peace. It will help me get everything done. I will get it done, I promise. And Jelva, I will send you an email here shortly after the live, okay? All right, everybody. Thank you for me being able to be all over the place today, and you helped me out. Yes, we will have, I have 3 Gorgonias ready. I'm trying to see about the last one. If I'm going to bring 4 or 3 or 4. So just to let you know. One of them decided it should be all over my car when I was trying to do it while at band camp, waiting for Buttercup. And I don't see, I threw one of them in here because I found it and I'm like, just threw it in here. But I don't see it. Oh, yep, here. Nope. That is not it. It is really cool. We have some really cool ones tomorrow. All right, everybody. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.